Welcome to Coach on a Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and we are on location today at Loyal High School, home of the Greyhounds, and we are with Greyhound baseball coach Greg Brock. Coach, thanks for being here today. Thanks for welcoming in me.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good. All right, well, we're going to learn about Loyal Greyhound baseball. We're going to touch on last year a little bit, talk about 2019. First thing, Coach, just tell us how many years you've been coaching here, and then what keeps you coming back.
I've been coaching here 22 years. It's my 22nd year as head coach. I was assistant in junior high a couple years before that. Originally it was a love of the game in the baseball and teaching it to the youth that started it out, and the competition is great. I like that in-game competition and, teaching the kids about that, and it's amazing the kids have that same competition and they enjoy that part of it. And ultimately, though, it's the contact with the kids and helping them out and teaching them the game.
Yeah, so 20 plus years, just a short time.
Yeah.
Newbie here
Yes,
in
exactly.
the baseball world. So you compete in the Clover Belt Conference.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about some of those, or just maybe the state of the conference here in just a little bit. But before we do, just reflect back on 2018. What are some of the favorite memories, and then some of those kids you talked about that left the team last year?
It was a fun year once we finally got outside. It was miserable weather. We always talk couple weeks inside is great, but we were inside for a month. Cut our season in half. You feel bad for the seniors from last year. I had 4 good seniors last year, and them poor kids got 7 conference games in. They made the best of it, and it went well. We ended up with a tough second round loss in playoffs. We were hoping to go a little bit farther at the start of the season, and conference we didn't finish quite where we wanted to there either, but it's hard when you only play everybody once. You don't know when where pitching lines up and things like that. But we had some good kids. All 4 of them seniors. There was a Gesser boy, a Brock, a Bogdanovich, and a Much, and all them kids played from 4th grade on. And they really enjoyed baseball, and just it wasn't like all of them were diehard baseball players, but they were all athletes and really understood the game and made it fun, and they were fun amongst themselves with it. So, like I said, you feel bad for that part of it, but in the same regards, they enjoyed every second they could.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of that stoppage. There was a snow event. 20 inches of snow came on a Saturday night through a Monday morning, and that really kind of bogged down a lot of central Wisconsin last year. Unfortunately, we remember it well.
Yeah.
As we go out and cover these games, and it's a stoppage for us as well. So,
Right.
But I think we're in the clear now. It's April 23rd. It looks like perhaps the snow is behind us.
Yeah, I hope so. We're really sick of the indoor stuff. We're getting the taste of continual games. It's nice to get some back-to-back days playing, and we're starting to look like we can maybe get on our field and practice for a change. We haven't been able to do that yet, so it definitely. I know the field was actually dusty on Sunday night when we did a little work on it, so I was happy to see the little dust fly for a change.
It's a good sign.
Yes,
a good sign,
very
and good
good
things to come. So we'll talk about the Clover Belt here real quick. As we transition from basketball season now into baseball season, Clover Belt kind of top heavy in basketball. There's a couple teams at Loyal, Columbus Catholic, and then there's kind of everybody else down below that as far as basketball season goes. Kind of handicap baseball, Clover Belt Conference baseball for us as all the teams line up in the conference.
It's it's always competitive. It's not. I compare it to the Big Ten, where you don't get a day off in the Big Ten playing. We don't really get a day off here either, because any given day. But the top 4 or 5 teams, they're very competitive. They can beat anybody, and there's a lot of close games, a lot of 2-3 ball games, and depending upon pitching matchups, it can go. There's offense to back it up too if you don't have that ace on the mound that day. So, the Millsville's always well coached and a good team, and Gilman's coming back from last year, played very well. So, and then Greenwood's always an offensive team. Them guys just hit the ball all the time. So it's a good struggle to have, and it's early, so let's find out.
Yeah, so speaking of that, let's find out a little bit more about 2019. You beat Granton last night. You got a couple games under your belt now. What have you seen from the team so far? Where do things kind of stand right now?
We have pitching. I think we are a little deeper in pitching than what we thought coming into the season. I think coming into the season, I was like, we got to cut down on our walks, make them put the ball in play, keep our defense on our toes, and so far that's exactly what we've done. I've been really happy with our pitchers. We haven't, the weather may have helped our arm issues where we haven't had string games together, but in the same regards, it's hard when you're not outside early to get your arm in shape. You can only do so much inside, and our pitchers have done a very good job as far as keeping their arms healthy and staying sharp without being in game. So far we've been able to go to any one of them at any time and throw strikes, command the strike zone, and move their off speed around a little bit, and we've been okay. So that's kind of the key to them guys.
All right, and then as we look at this year's team, the roster is filled out. You've seen the guys now for a while, and then some of those seniors on the team right now. We talked about this a little bit off camera. Had to be their last year playing high school sports of any kind as this final season of the year. So as you look at those seniors, what kind of expectations do you have for them? And then what do they mean on the team? Their presence on and off the field.
We got a nice little mix of them again. They're all leaders. All four of them they stepped up, and they know they're the guys that are going to step up and lead us. They all do it in different ways. Sometimes it's the guy on the mound. It's got to be our best pitcher out there, and he's got to take things over. And then you got the quiet leader maybe in the back. He just does his work, and the kids are watching that, and they learn from that as well. So it's always nice when you have a handful of them like that. It's kind of like we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
That works out nice, and so far they've all just adapted to that, and they're doing that, and it really helps us.
Yeah, good. Well, we're looking forward to the 2019 season. If you can't make it out to the games here at Loyola High School or around the conference, you can catch some of those games. We'll provide some live streams here at Loyola and all around Central Wisconsin. You can find those on Focus News. Unfocus.news/sports and ZaleskiSportsShow.com. Click on live sports. We've got a live game coming up for you, Coach, on Thursday.
Awesome.
So we're looking forward to that. As people coming out, they're watching the games in person, or and when they can't make it, they watch them live. Who should they be kind of looking out for? Sometimes, as you know as a coach, how your season begins, and those kids you have at the start, they finish different and stronger sometimes at the end, or maybe one or two of the kids that people should be coming out to kind of look for and keep an eye on this year.
I think that first guy you got to watch is come and watch Maverick Rail throw a game. He's thrown quite a few games in the past couple of years, but he's kind of elevated his game this year. He's starting to command the inside part of the plate and the outside with his fastball. He's cut down his walks immensely. That was his big juggernaut in the past. So now he's really starting to do that. So anytime you see a lefty throw, it's kind of fun because he's got that little bit of movement always, and it's nice to watch. So he's one of the guys. Our center fielder, Trevin Wilkie, is probably one of the best in the conference. Just seeing him get up after a ball it's just fun to watch. You just sit back and let him go get them. It's kind of cool to see. So he's another one. Matthew Szymanski, our catcher, is one of the better ones in the conference, just blocking the ball. He takes a lot of pride in making sure nothing gets past him that way. So he did a great job last year, but he's picked up where he left off working wise, and he wants to get that much better again this year. So I'm hoping that continues for him throughout. And he's also stepped up on the mound for us, throws the ball very hard, and again throwing strikes again for us. So it's very nice to see.
Yeah, good. And some familiar names there. Some of those that you mentioned, they play other sports during the year, so
correct.
Not unfamiliar names on those student athletes. So. We'll finish with this, Coach. As you look now towards the end of the season, which can be hard to do as you've only played a couple.
Yeah.
But what are some of the goals this year, and what would be a good season here in 2019 for the Loyola Greyhounds?
Well, right now, we want to compete for one of them top spots in the conference. It's easy to say you always want to be in that top 3 and contend, but that's legitimately where we should end up this year. And if we end up on top, that's great. Ultimately, and it's probably a cliche, but we want to get better every game. And as long as every one of us get better every game, by the end of the season, then our team will be better. And then it's playoffs. Everybody gets in the playoffs, and you get in hot at the right time and play your best baseball, and then see where you go from there.
In that one and done format, anything can happen. Like you said, if you get hot, you can really rock it right through the playoffs.
Yeah, we want to keep offensively. I think is the key. You need to be hot offensively at that time of the year. You start getting 2-3 guys in a slump at that time. It's hard to get through a couple close games then.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thanks for being here today. Thanks for having us in here to Loyola High School. We're looking forward to the season. Like I said, we'll get you live here a couple of times. I have highlights throughout the season. Highlights can be found on Facebook at Zaleski Sports Neilsville and other Zaleski Sports channels. So that'll end here with Coach Brock. Again, thanks for joining us today.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good. All right, we had a good time. We've got more coach interviews coming up all throughout the end of this month, and that'll do it for now. We've got, again, more coming up, and we will see you next time. For Coach on the Couch, I'm Jason Zaleski.